You recall whenever I was taking the door steps off the sill plates, I talked about having a hole through the frame to align the body. This is the hole on the driver's side, and it's in the front and over in the back, or on the passenger side rather, it's in the back. Those are the holes we're going to put the 1/2-inch rods in and use it to drop the body down onto it to line it. The other thing, now that we've got the fuel tank off, is on the mounts that the fuel tank rests on, there is felt paper. That's all it is. It just keeps the fuel tank from squeaking and rubbing and rusting on the bracket. So I have some left over from a roofing job I'll probably put on there rather than spend money on a authentic GM piece. These don't look too bad. Maybe if they come off easy, who knows, I might put those back on. I've been working on taking out the bolts that hold the fuel lines down. This one here, I can't get a wrench on it. I'm having trouble getting a socket on it. So what I'm going to do is take my socket, put it in place, try to put it on with a hammer. Hopefully that will give me enough bite on it that I can get it off. Be back in a minute. That was just what the doctor ordered. There's just enough to get the wrench on it and loosen it. I'm going to leave that alone for a minute and I'll address it later. If you look at this line, it goes to the front, and right about there, it goes through the transmission cross member. I don't know if removing the cross member is going to be able to give me enough room to, if I can get the cross member out over top of those, because I don't know how far that cross member goes into that bracket. But it may be that it might be virtually impossible to put a formed line on. I'm going to try to wiggle this out as soon as I get the rest of the bolts and everything out, but it ought to be fun. This is a good time to document the distance from the number 6 body mount that the pad that the body rests on. It's 2 inches from the in front of the number 6 body mount. And the next thing, and I'm going to have to put down the camera and set it up, is to basically show how to get a stubborn piece of hose off of a tube. This one I've struggled and tried and twisted, and I can't get it off, so I'm going to show you the way to do it. Okay, there is the connection that I've had trouble. I'm going to try to keep my hands out of the way as I do this, to basically show you the technique of slitting the hose with a box cutter. And this is a good way, radiator hoses that you don't want to risk damaging your radiator heater cores. You just slit that once you get it slit enough, maybe able to pull it off. If not, then I will just go ahead and slit some more. There it is. I was having trouble because it's really loose with getting the knife down into all the way to the metal, and also it's a pretty dull knife. But that's how you do it. I'm going to replace those hoses anyways. Wouldn't think of putting those old ones back on. Same with the fuel lines. The fuel lines almost look like they're serviceable, but as difficult as it is to get to, I'm going to put new ones in. The question is, am I going to buy pre-bent ones or am I going to bend them myself? And if I do them myself, what I will probably do is put a couple unions in it so that I could replace pieces of it in the future, even though they will be coated with Por-15 or some other rust preventative paint of high quality before they go on. Well, I think I've proved that I can get those in as a pre-bent piece. It's just a little bit of bending of them. I had to pull this up and in, pull it back till these got there, wiggle it around, put it back, pull it back as I was going. So they did come out in one piece without too much bending. I'm sure I could put them back in and get them in place without really destroying a pre-bent set. That said, I still don't know whether I want to go for a pre-bent set or bend my own. I'll have to compare the costs of each option and see what I want to do then. I don't know if I mentioned, but the size of the nuts on these are 1/2 inch. The brackets, the lines down. I'm going to take all these off now on the return from the charcoal canister. Okay, since the brake line is running in the same path as the vapor return line, we're going to disconnect it from the distribution box here using our flare nut wrench so that we can get it out. Okay, that first brake line was a 9/16. This one here is way in between the frame and this bracket. And I'm having trouble getting a wrench even on it, much less being able to turn it. So, what I think I'm going to do is show you another tried and true trick that will help in many instances of getting off a flare nut that is rusted on and you're in danger of rounding it. Okay, the first step to this tried and true method of getting that off is to simply break, cut, whatever it takes, remove the line from that fitting. is one that you're not going to want to put back onto the car anyway. You don't care about the fitting. Step 2 is take a 6-point socket. I believe this is 7/16, so I'm going to get my 7/16 socket, and I'm going to use a deep one so that I can get over the line that I just broke off. Works every time. That line is off. Best way I've come up with it to defeat a non-cooperative flare net fitting, because you don't want to put that back on anyways if it's already started to round off. The next thing I'm going to do, and hopefully I can get enough of an angle here, I'm going to try and pull out that vent line just to give it a little bit of an idea of how difficult it is to get it off with having to go through this cross member here. Okay, you can flex it a little bit, but this is not the job that you want to even attempt with the body on the car. So even though these particular lines aren't that bad, and if I put 415 or some other good rust proofing on them, they probably would last another 20 years. I don't want to worry about it and have to deal with it with the body on the car. So best way of doing it. Just replace the front. I'll take this brake line out on here, and all of the trim going from the front of the car to the back of the car is now off of the car.